you got to get beat up in life
Yeah.
to figure out who you're going to be.
You got to get punched in the face.
But
You
I
have
think
to.
the wild thing now is like, I'm sure you two can say the same thing. It's like, you can look back and see all those times you got beat up and like, oh, I understand why.
Yeah.
Oh, if it wasn't for that, getting my ass kicked there, I wouldn't have had the courage to do A, B, or C, or face this, that, or the third. Like, so it really is all for a reason. There is a purpose to everything. And if you look at it that way, then you can appreciate it.
100%.
Absolutely.
If I'm a firm believer, and if it's just handed to you, then it means nothing. It won't mean anything because you won't know that you can do it. Because if you literally got nothing and you learn how to fish, now you know how to fish. Can't nobody take that away from you. Can't nobody take away all your knows. Can't nobody, like, this is kind of one of those things where I saw somebody post something and I got really fired up last night talking about it and, talking about being paid for auditions. And, like, it got me fired up because I'm like, not to be controversial in any kind of way, but it's like, that's an opportunity. You shouldn't get paid for an opportunity.
Right.
Like, you go turn in a resume for any job anywhere, you don't get paid. When I was a kid, I wanted to play basketball. I wanted to be in the NBA because I was dribbling in my backyard. Doesn't mean NBA should cut me a check. Like, I wanted to do that. I came out here and chose to do this. And the reason why I bring that up is just because there are sacrifices you will have to make. And if you learn those things of going, hey, okay, this might hurt right now, but this will make me better. Just like relationships, like you learn things you want in a relationship. Like, okay, I need to be respected if I'm providing this, or I want this in a partner. Partner deserves this, a better version of me. And you don't become a better person of yourself unless you trip and fall on your face a little bit, hear some no, get punched in the face, and you go, wow, all right, well, that's a shitty version of me. Let me make that person better. And then you earn those moments. You earn that place. You earn that story. Because how cool is a story is if it's just like, okay, well, you just got given everything. You got given $700 million and everything, and you didn't have to battle in any way. Like,
You won't appreciate it as much.
no. And then how do you tell somebody else, hey, go get yours? Because if you had to fight it and you had to grind through it, when you talk to somebody about your role that may be going through the same thing, you can be, look, I get it. And they'll hear that from you. Somebody else that didn't travel anywhere near that road, they go, hey, yeah, listen, I get it. It's tough, but you need to do it. You're like, yo, you don't get shit. You ain't done nowhere near what I'm talking about, but they will listen to that from you. And that's the good stuff. But you don't get that without taking a lot of gut shots.
People relate to your messes, not your success.
That's right.
Because that's what they can't enjoy your success because that's already happened, but like they can be like, oh, I felt that.
Yeah.
Because you went through the same shit. Like, yeah, I felt that. That sucked. And that sucked for you too? Oh, okay. So now we can relate to that. Oh, if you get over it, maybe I can get over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look at, on Instagram, I'm seeing all kinds of stuff about Kobe Bryant, like all his mindset from back in the day and all these different things. And when he was playing, all you hear is like, oh, he's an a-hole. He separates himself from his team. And then now all these interviews of what he was doing. Mm-hmm. And it's inspiring so many people, right? And it's kind of like that Jordan mentality. And you see those things, you're like, oh, okay, yeah. And then you hear memes, you see different people talking. Like, if you're going for something hard, you're going to be misunderstood if you're doing it right. Mm-hmm. Because people aren't going to understand why you get up at 4 a.m. to go to the gym, to go do a thing. Because why? Why are you studying lines when you could be doing this? Why are you doing that until all of a sudden you're on a place doing this thing, then everybody wants to know how you got there. It's like, well, for me, getting up 4 a.m. was part of that journey. For me, studying this when everybody else was out doing this was part of my journey. Doesn't mean it has to be yours, but it was mine. And that's the gold of all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then you get to take that, like, you get lucky, you get a job, you get to go play pretend for a day or a week or a couple months, or you make it your living, and hopefully you don't ever forget that stuff, because it's real easy to get comfortable and get real cool and you get used to it. It's like with anything. Like when you're fighting for it, it's all you want. I tell my wife, like back in the, like I'd get a job and all I wanted to hear, like I'd sit there and I'd close my eyes. I used to do this thing in school. I'd stare at the clock because I wanted to be in PE because that was like practice. Because like when you're an athlete in the South, you're in class for half the day and then you're in the gym for the rest of the day, right? And so I would sit there and I'd stare at the clock and I'd close my eyes and I'd open my eyes. And sooner or later, it'd be at the time that I get to leave this freaking class, right? Worst student in the history of mankind. You know what I mean? Like I was trying to tell my cousins one day, like, hey, you need to go to class. And they literally on the phone, long pause, like, really? And I was like, don't do as I say. Don't do as I did. Do as I say. You know,
I would just leave the class for like a 30-minute bathroom break. Oh, come back. Oh, class is over.
I wouldn't even
Sorry.
go to class.
Listen, my school was so small, like you couldn't even hide in the bathroom.
Yeah.
But like so I would sit there and do that, and it's just kind of one of those, like, you know, you sit there and you close your eyes and you open them wanting to be in this different place. Well, I was talking to my wife about doing that, and then all I would want is for my phone to ring and it to be that message going, hey, you got this job, whether it was a co-star or a guest star or whatever. And then literally the moment I got the job, I'd be on the phone running, because when I'm on the phone, I cannot sit still. Like I pace like a crazy person, like I'm a sociopath. I just pace. And then the moment I'd hang the phone up, I'd go, okay, so now what this is going to lead to is, instead of going, yo, I just got this thing that the world would end if I didn't get it. And then the moment I hang up the phone, I'm thinking about the next thing instead of going, I get to do this thing right now. And it's like you spend all your time chasing the next. And then as you do, you kind of go, I want to stay here. I want to enjoy this. I don't care about what the next episode is. I don't care. I want to be right here. I want to be right now. And like when I first moved out here, I did background for a couple months, right? Because my roommate was big background casting director, and he's like, I can get you work when you first move out here doing that. So I'm like, oh, this is amazing. And so I'll never forget it. And there's a point to it. I watched Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Gardner walk and talk through this room. And I was one of the people that's just supposed to walk by them. It's just background. And I remember watching that, and then we went to lunch, and it was a big TV production, and I watched them walk and go through the lunch line because they had to, because they're the stars, they had to go in front of everybody so they could get through eating and get back and get ready to start filming so it didn't make the day longer. And I remember watching them. They got their food. They go and sit down at the cool kids table in my mind, and I'm just sitting there by myself, and I'm eating, and I close my eyes and I open my eyes. I'm like, one day I want to know what that feels like, right? And so like I've been working for a while doing different things, and I've felt, those kind of feelings. But here recently, when I was out in Hawaii and we were working, and we had this scene where we were walking and talking, and you're not a crazy person when you're filming. I'm watching PAs send background to walk past us, and we get done. I'm like, hey man, thank you guys so much. That was awesome. That was really cool. When I looked at you and you looked at me and it gave me the, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, that story I just told you, it hit me. And I teared up.
Yes.
And I was sitting there, and Vanessa, she's like, you all right? I'm like, oh no, I'm good. I got a little dust. All right, I'm good. And I rolled on, and we did another take. But I almost started bawling, crying, because that 20-year-old kid
would be so proud of you.
Was right there.
Yeah.
And like that, can't nobody take that away from me.
Dude.
You know what I'm saying?
It's so cool because I did background work a lot of that, and I had those same feelings.
Yeah.
And like when I was on set, like first of all, like going from background action to, can we have first team in and your first team? But like I don't take it for granted. And when I was in Hawaii, after every cut, I would go through background and be like, how you doing? Yeah. And I introduced myself, and like, because I wanted them to feel special where they're at. Yeah. Because I'm in, I moved up the ladder, doesn't mean that I should treat you like you're at the bottom.
You remember that stuff, and hopefully you never forget that, because that's how all ships rise. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because then somebody tells that story, it's like, yo, Danny was super cool with me. Like, that dude's dope.
Makes you feel good.
Yeah. And it's just like in general, we all like, look, people in general, like we're pack animals. We want to be cool in the pack. Like, I don't care if you're the most introverted person in the world or whatever. Like, we all have a need for compassion. We all have a need for love.
Connection.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just a ingrate animal human thing. And it's cool that you did that. Like, that's dope.
Yeah, man.
It's the way it's supposed to be.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, they were like just surprised at them. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, they would literally, you could see physically that they're like, they tense up. They're like, oh shit. I'm like, it's cool, man. Like, I'm you, you know.
Dude,
I've been working my ass off for this. You know?
It's the funniest thing. Like the first episode of NC Ass Hawaii I did, we were on a naval destroyer, like this brand new naval destroyer that had just been commissioned like 6 months prior.
Pearl Harbor?
No, we weren't at Pearl. I don't know exactly where it was, but it was just docked up.
Okay.
And so anyway, we get done doing our thing, and I happen to be in line for food with one of the sailors that was there, and he's like, excuse me, Mr. Hand. I'm like, oh, dude, you don't have to call me. Like, I'm Linc, bro. Like, I'm chill. And he's like, oh, okay. He's like, you can go in front of me, and just kind of pleasantries. And sitting there, I was like, no, bro. I was like, you're actually working. I'm just playing pretend, man. You go ahead, do your thing. I'm done. I'm chilling. And he's like, well, from that, he goes, hey, can I tell you something? I was like, please, yes, sir. And he goes, well, I was in Video Village when you were filming this final scene. And he goes, so I got there. He goes, there were some servicemen and women in there. And he's like, I was in there with production. And he was really excited about it. And he's like, you came on camera. And he told me the response of people in the room. And it was this very, like for me, it was like really, really, really cool that he was saying this thing happened. And of course, my optimistic mind was like, okay, everybody was happy. There was something kind of magical that took place. And I'm listening to him, and he thinks he's kind of, like taking up my time. I'm like, dude, I said, this means so much to me. You have no idea. You saying what you just said, what that means to me, what it'll mean to the people I'm about to call and tell them about it. Yeah. So I was like, so what I would like for you to do is I'm going to hit voice memo, and I'm going to record this, and this is going to be my ringtone for the next couple months. Like, will you just say that again verbatim what you said? And he was like, what? I said, no, it's going to be my ringtone. This is good. Like, please. Like,
yeah.
But it's just like those little kind of moments that you can't get anywhere else. I'm a sap for that kind of stuff, man. I just love it, dude.
So let me ask you this thing, because there's a lot of people, like you said, that would want to be in the position that you're in, that are thinking about quitting. You've given a lot of good wisdom, but like, what specific advice would you give to somebody who's just like, yo, man, I'm over it. I can't do what you're doing. I can't get to where you at. I don't have your discipline.
Yeah. I think it's a realistic conversation to have with yourself, where if you can see yourself doing something else, then do it. Because if it's torture for you, then, and you truly don't want to do it, then it's okay to say, hey, I don't want this, because it's not in my journey anymore. It meant something to me. Now it's different. Now, the rub is you got to look in the mirror and go, is that bullshit I'm telling myself because I don't really want to deal with the punches, right? And if you can answer that question honestly with yourself, with nobody around, not an Instagram post, not a meme, but if you can look in the mirror and go, hey, I truly don't want this, it isn't me lying to myself, then okay, it's okay to go, I want to do something else. But if you know deep down in your gut it's bullshit, then that's when you've got to sit down and make up your mind how bad you want it. Because if you want it bad enough, if the why is important enough, then the how doesn't matter. The time won't matter, because you can either, there's an old, I don't know if it's a proverb, I heard it somewhere or I saw it. There was
probably Gabe.
Yeah, right?
Probably
100%. And it's like there was this old man, and he needed to cut a path through a mountain. And all he had was like his pickaxe and like a bucket. And it was like a mountain. And the dude just starts chipping away. And literally took him 25, 30 years. And there's this big giant path through this mountain that now this village can walk through to go get water. Because before they had to walk all the way around this mountain. It was this crazy thing. 30 years. But now there's a path straight through. So you know, as silly as it sounds, like with this business, you can do everything right and nothing is guaranteed. You're not entitled to anything. You're just not. You can do it all right and not get a chance. You can be brilliant and not get a chance. But if you stay with it throughout all of that, sooner or later, you get to walk through that path. It may not be as fast as you want it. The people you want to see it may not get to see it because they're not here anymore. But if you keep chipping away, you will get your shot. That is the only guarantee, is that if you are just too stubborn to not take no and keep going, sooner or later, you can create it.